Welcome to Grace Notes TV, everyone. This is Pastor Dan, and I'm glad you could join us this evening with our special guest, Jesus Christ. Let's give him a big welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here.
So I understand the book has been selling well.
Yes, it is selling. Lots of little old grannies buying for their grandkids. Not so much on the reading, however.
You seem larger than life somehow, Jesus.
Yes, well, you seem a little more slight than I remember.
I can't help but notice that you have an Australian accent.
Well, first of all, accents and languages are kind of my thing. But I have been in Australia doing a walkabout of late.
And what have you learned in your walkabout?
Well, for one thing, Dad had a good sense of humor when he created those kangaroos. And well, the platypus, I am not sure I can even venture a guess as to what she was thinking. I laugh every time I think of them. They are silly little creatures.
That they are. But wait, first you said Dad had a good sense of humor, and then you said she? So that brings up the age-old question, is God male or female?
Yes.
I know, but which one?
Yes. Sort of a who's on first thing.
So Jesus, while you've been on your walkabout, there have been some things going on. War in Syria, Israel firing on Syria, tornadoes in Oklahoma, and in Washington, they can't even agree on what color green is. Don't you think you should be doing something?
I did. Remember? Or didn't you read the book either?
Well, yeah, sort of. I mean, but I thought you were supposed to fix things. You know, ask and it shall be given. That sort of thing.
Do you remember that prayer?
Which one? Now I lay me down to sleep?
No.
Come, Lord Jesus, be our guest.
No.
Our Father who art in heaven?
Yes. That is the one. Do you know what comes next?
Hallowed be thy name?
Well, yes, but after that.
Thy kingdom come?
Yes, go on.
Thy will be done?
Now finish that thought.
On earth as it is in heaven?
You've got it. Now what do you think that means?
How should I know? I mean, after all, it is the Lord's Prayer.
Okay, back to that book your grandmother gave you. You'll find that little prayer in Matthew chapter 6.
Okay.
First, you'll see that when you refer to it as the Lord's Prayer, you've got it wrong. It is not my prayer, it's yours. You asked me to teach you how to pray, so I gave you something simple that covers all the basics.
Okay, but when I pray that prayer, aren't you supposed to come down and fix things for me?
No, only Pat Robertson and a few others who don't understand that book Grandma gave them think that way. Dad gave you all the tools you need to do her will here on this little planet the same way Ali does up there.
Wait. Dad. She? Allah? I'm confused.
Well, you say it Yahweh, and I'll say it mine.
Okay, good one. But how do we know God's will?
Well, remember that book Grandma gave you?
Yes, it is on the coffee table at home.
Like I said, that prayer is in Matthew chapter 6, but there are a lot of other things there too. It is part of the Sermon on the Mount that starts in Matthew 5. If you read both chapters together, it will give you sort of a hint.
Well, I do remember that part about the poor in spirit being blessed.
Yes, Matthew did say that. He was not one of my better students, he was more concerned with being first. I believe Luke just says, blessed are the poor, and leaves it at that.
So that is God's will, that we are all poor.
No, remember God is all-knowing and all-powerful. She is more than a one-trick pony. We are to be concerned with the poor, but also those who mourn, and the meek and the hungry, and the merciful, the pure in heart, the peacemakers and those who end up in trouble, and then there are all the other things mentioned, like anger and oaths and divorce, but mainly to love one another.
That is a lot to consider.
Put as this way, God's will on earth as in heaven means that you would show as much concern for someone else's children as you would your own, because they're God's children and she loves them and she put you in charge of things here on this earth and you are not doing such a good job.
Okay, I think I see your point.
No, actually I don't think you do. You are still taking the bread out of the mouths of hungry children to buy another pair of gold cufflinks for your favorite executive. Remember, God's will also includes economics and tax policy and...
Okay, we have to take a commercial break now. Will you be able to join us after the break, Jesus?
Well, yes, you are doing a 5-week series on the Lord's Prayer, so I'll hang around and talk some more.
Okay, and now a word from our sponsors. Protect your future by investing in gold at Goldline.
OMG.